This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
Dominic Carter, Talk Radio 77 WABC. One person can change the world. Over the years, I've often talked about growing up poor in the Bronx and without a father. It was the Police Athletic League and youth football that helped save my life, and also a hero New York City police officer named Bill. He was our coach. Coach Bill was a tremendous father figure for all of us. About 100 African-American and Latino youngsters, and he happened to be white. And of course, he was a role model for the generation of today. A New York City police officer giving back enormously to the community. His name is Pat Russo. He's retired, but gives back as the director and founder of the New York City Cops and Kids boxing program. I consider you, Pat, in the tradition of Coach Bill, and here's my point. Most people often complain but never step up to do anything. You stepped up. Why?
Why? Because it started out as part of my job as a New York City police officer. I thought in order to make the city a better place, you had to step up and do what the community needed to be done. And as I told you in our previous broadcast, the community needed places to go for at-risk kids. Just like Coach Bill did, he started that football program. We, as part of an anti-crime initiative, we started a boxing program because I knew boxing was a sport that would attract kids that wanted to be perceived as tough guys on the street. And we started it over 30 years ago. Thousands of kids have came through the program, and they'll all tell you the same thing. If it wasn't for the program, I'd either be dead or in jail. So they appreciate it, and that's why originally it was just thrown at us to go out and help the community, and that's one way that we thought we could do it without locking kids up. Better to give the kids a positive place to be around positive people than to put them in Rikers Island.
Man, you are a hero. I know you don't see yourself that way, but what you just said alone, I've often said the same thing about myself throughout the years. Many of my friends are dead or in jail, and that same fate was in my path. And what I'm asking here is, because I have so much respect for you, is why you? Why you've already given back as a police officer in New York City, but you didn't stop there. Yes, you've got your private business, and I don't know how you deal with your private business, but also dealing with the kids. But why do you do what you do?
Because it's kind of a labor of love. I love going to watch our kids box. Can you imagine that you took a kid that's got nothing, and an example is like Chris Primetime Colbert. He's a kid that came into the gym, and I'm telling you, he was a tough kid. He gave me all the gray hairs that I have. He really did. He put us through a lot, and you know what? I would get people that I respected and would say, just throw him out. What are you going to do? Throw him out. And I said I'd throw him out, and then I'm a failure. That we gave up on that kid. And there's no way I don't like failing. I like winning. And I'm not going to give up on a kid. And we stuck with him. And you know what? When he comes my birthday or Christmas or any holiday, and I get that text from him, that's why I do what I do. When I get that text, thank you for all you've done for me. And when I see him in the street and he gives me that bro hug, and it's just that feeling there's not a monetary amount of money that you could put on that feeling when you did what Coach Bill did. And I'm sure Coach Bill appreciates all the kind words you say about him, and he'll have the same reasoning for why he did what he did.
What is the most fulfilling part of what you do? You just alluded to it, but also let's keep it real. Most of the kids that you help happen to be African American and Latino, and you're a white retired police officer. I feel that people like you, people like Coach Bill, that you are ambassadors to improve race relations in New York City. But what is the most fulfilling part of what you do?
When you look at our application for cops and kids, you won't see race on that application, because I think we're all one race, the human race. And I try to, it bothers me today that everything revolves around race. And it's just good people trying to help out people that don't have what we have, or just good people trying to help out people. So I really hate to instill race into everything, even though it's in our face with everything that's going on in the world. And when you come into our gym, and I hope you're able to get to see our gym sometime, you walk in that door, and you know what it is? It's the United Nations. It's everything. I got Russian kids, I got white kids, I got Hispanic kids, I got black kids, I got West Indian kids. There's every nationality, every country is represented in that gym. And like I said, the only colors in this gym is the red corner and the blue corner, and that's the way it remains.
We are chatting right now with a remarkable American, Pat Russo, who runs the boxing program for kids in New York City as it relates to police and so on. Talk to me for a second about one of your strong points happens to be police are not the problem, but they can be the solution. Talk to me about what you mean about that.
Years ago, I was very lucky. I was very blessed when I came on the job. When I came on the job, I was chosen right out of the academy to be part of the CPOP program. It was the Community Police Officers Program. And at the time, it was in the mid 80s. Crime was kind of out of control in the city. And they said, we want to do a common sense program to work with the community and solve the problems that are facing that community. And we started something there by just working with the community, listening to the community, and going out and solving the problems that we're facing each individual community. So we proved from the 80s into the 90s and now that we can make this the safest big city in America. And we did it. We did it with just a common sense approach to policing. Give kids the opportunity to be good people. And there are bad people out there that need to go to jail. Target those individuals, lock them up, put them away, make an example out of them. That this is not the career path that you want in your life, because it's going to end bad. You're going to end up dead or in jail. And then highlight the good kids in the program, because everything we see in the paper and on the news is highlighting bad stuff that kids do. Highlight the good stuff that kids are doing, and it's happening every day. It don't sell papers, but I'm telling you, it's happening every day, and we're able to do it through our social media. My phone don't stop. Not with work, with kids and parents that are begging to get their kid into the program because they want their kids to just be better people, and they're afraid once the streets get hold of them, it's like a cancer. It just eats them alive.
It does eat kids alive.
The police can be the solution, but we need good leaders to get the police to do the job again that they were meant to do. They were meant to go out there and help the community, work with the community.
Mr. Russo, it can eat people alive. Many of my friends that I grew up with, it ate them alive. I don't talk about it because some of them are dead. Many of them are in prison, and I'm one of the lucky few that has survived. And I know the work that you are doing is saving lives. I know that you are an angel on earth for what you are doing. I know you don't see yourself that way, but I want you to just tell me what has been the greatest moment, if you can think of one off the top of your head, since you've been running this boxing program for kids in New York City. What's been the single most, if there's one, just give us an idea of one example of what has really touched your heart. Because many of your kids are now professional boxers. So go right ahead.
And it's not that. It's not the kid that became a professional fighter. I love that. It brings great notoriety to the program. But the greatest, and there's not just one, because I deal with thousands of kids. The greatest thing is when I go to the police ceremonies, when the kids that came through the program and they invite me to come to the graduation ceremony at the police academy, and they become New York City police officers. Because everybody talks about the problem, and that's the solution. You get kids from the inner city to become New York City cops. And like I said, they become not good cops. They become great cops because they've been through it. They've been through the streets and they know what it is. They know who the bad guys are on the street. They know who they have to lock up to make that housing projects in Brownsville a better place. They knew that family that just destroyed, that was a cancer in that thing. We have to go after them, and then we have to get to the good kids and just guide them, give them a kick in the ass when they need it, and guide them down a proper way in life.
So, Mr. Russo, kids like myself that you and I both know would have been doing 5 to 10 if we were lucky. You're telling me that going through the boxing program, they return kids that were considered burdens to society are now New York City police officers that have gone through your program.
100%. I'd love for you to meet them.
Wow. I almost have tears of joy thinking about this. I want to close this way, Mr. Russo. You are an angel on earth. You run a business in Brooklyn, and I believe that we should give back to those that help us. Tell me about your business, the address, and how can people, if they are interested in donating to your program, the New York City Cops and Kids Boxing Program, because I believe no taxpayer dollars are involved in this. How can the public help out? And tell me briefly about your business.
Well, to donate to the program or to follow us and see great kids doing great things in the community, it's on Instagram, NYC Cops and Kids. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We have a Facebook page. But if they wanted to make a donation, they could go to our website. It's nypdboxing.com. And there's a donate button there. And my business, and I take no credit for it. My father was the business guy in the family, and when I retired from the job, he gave me the keys and he took off, because I'll tell you right now, running a business, I'd rather be a cop than run a business in New York City. It's safer than running a business in New York City. But I got a great business on Utica Avenue in East Flatbush, and we catered to the West Indian community. And my father seen the opportunity at the time that the West Indian community was a growing, flourishing community. And he said, look, they need somebody to cater to them and take care of the community. And we just built it, and it just grew. That we have almost 50 employees today, and they've been with me. Most of the employees have been with me 10, 15, 20 years.
And it's a food business. And what's the address?
It's a wholesale food distributor. We got groceries, produce. It's 1051 Utica Avenue in Brooklyn, New York.
Pat Russo, I thank you so much. You have really touched my heart. You have given me motivation that we all have a responsibility to give back. A New York City police officer, retired officer, giving back enormously to the community. We thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Dominic. Appreciate it.
and you are the director of the New York City COPS program for boxing, the kids program. Again, thank you for all that you do. Dominic Carter here, Talk Radio 77 WABC. I will see you folks the next time. Stay positive, stay positive, never negative, and live life to the fullest. Remember, you can catch me weeknights, midnight to 1 a.m. on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.